All right, guys. Here's the question. Are you ready? Are you ready for what is coming? Are you watching current events? Myself and my family and friends, we really are working on a timeline right now of now to November. We feel like that between now and November, we're going to steadily see an escalation in potential issues. Look at what's going on in Virginia. They are steadily getting bills moved through, just like they said they would. A number of them have already been passed. Some others have moved out of committee and are moving forward to the State House and Senate. And there's no objective reason why they're not going to pass there and go on to the governor. And it's really draconian stuff that you would expect someplace like New York or California, not Virginia. But are you ready? Start watching around the country as we move forward for little things. So down in my area, down in Jacksonville, Florida, just yesterday, there was a Republican group that had set up canopy and everything in this parking lot. They were registering people to vote. And a guy took his van and drove right into them and took off. Now, fortunately, by the grace of God, nobody was hurt. The guy was subsequently caught. And I don't know anything about him. I've got to try to check with some people and see what I can find out. But if you look at his mugshot and pictures, excuse me, I'll be careful when I say this because I hate doing it, but he looks like the stereotypical Antifa nut job type. And I know you can't always and shouldn't judge people by their looks, but that's the visual appearance that he gives, is that type. Stereotypes exist for a reason. I think you're going to see more and more of those kind of things happening on a growing scale. And again, I pray that I don't. I pray I'm wrong on that. But if those types of things do start becoming more widespread and do start increasing, are you ready? Have you gotten sufficient, or let me retract that, not sufficient. Have you gotten any firearms training? Have you gotten any first aid medical training? Have you gotten any communications training? Can your team effectively communicate? Now, your team may be you and your spouse. It may be you and a neighbor, a best friend. It may be you and family and friends. It could be as small as you and one other person, or you and 20 other people. But that's your team. Can you effectively communicate as a team? Can you communicate directly within eyesight of each other? Can you communicate when there's distance between you? You communicate using radios. Do you even know what constitutes being able to effectively communicate as a team? Have you taken any training on that? I know places you can go if you're interested in that. Have you taken training on all the various different subject matters that an armed, prepared citizen should be looking into? Going back to the team, do you even have a team? If you can't find one of your close friends who's willing to not only discuss these types of things with you, but actively plan, prepare, and train and practice with you, if you don't have one close friend that'll do that, I would submit maybe you need to really look closer at your friends. I'm just saying. If all your friends consist of is getting drunk and watching football and boozing it up at the nightclub, if you're serious about being prepared, you might ought to look for some new friends. It's all about those priorities. Because those priorities will determine, are you ready? That's what the phrase I want you to keep in the back of your head. If something happened to you or the nation or the world tomorrow, are you ready? At whatever level you deem that to be, because we're all going to be at different levels of things depending on what we're doing. But are you ready? Are you doing something on a daily basis to make yourself more ready? More ready simply means better than you were yesterday. Better off. You've got one more can of food in the pantry than you did yesterday. You've got one more magazine, one more box of ammo. You've made one more trip to the range. You've read one more book. You've increased your knowledge base by something. It doesn't have to be something big. It can be little teeny steps, because them little teeny steps add up to big steps. But are you ready? If the worst were to happen. Keep that in your head. Think about it and work with that in mind, okay? I really hope that you all do. I hope in some way that maybe helps you line things up in your head. I was talking with a buddy of mine the other day, and both of us were really frustrated with what we see and the efforts that we're trying to make to educate people, help people, provide them with information, provide them with encouragement, etc. You see things and you read things from the people that are following what you're saying and advocating, that their comments make you shake your head and first off ask, why are these people even following what's being, following me or my buddy or whoever, when it's apparent from their comments that they have no interest in what we've got to say, in learning or whatever. And it makes a lot of folks, because I know this extends beyond just being my buddy, get really frustrated and ask, why are we even doing this? Because, as I've said from the get-go, I'm not doing this channel to make money at all. I'm doing this channel because I want to try to help somebody. Sometimes it's to help me. But it would be a lot easier to do this if I was making money. If I was making money at it, I wouldn't care about what I put out. I would put out whatever I thought was going to draw the most viewers and put the most money in my pocket. I wouldn't care if they, if I agreed with what they were wanting or not. I just put what they wanted to put the dollar in my pocket and go do my own thing. That's not what I'm doing, and there are others on other formats that are doing the same thing, and it ain't about money. It's to try and help people. And it gets real frustrating when you see the people that you're trying to help who then turn around and act like, well, they already know it all anyway. Okay, well then why are you here? Why are you there? Why are wherever? But I think there's still people out there that do listen and are objective and have IQs higher than that of an armadillo. So for those people, we'll keep on. But when you go to bed tonight, when you close your eyes, ask yourself again, if it falls apart tomorrow, are you ready? Mentally, physically, tangibly, etc. All the above. Are you ready? Go get trained, guys. Training, 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 and then practice, practice, practice. And not just on the guns. It's on them, but it's on a bunch of other stuff too. And I'll see you tomorrow. And maybe the next day. Or maybe I'll see you next week. I don't know. Point being, I'll see you in the next video. Take care.